Welcome, my friends of the interwebs, and welcome to the video that I'm making. I just got sidetracked, sorry about that. There was a squeaky toy off in the distance. This video is for an amazing Kentucky colonel. His name's David, and he is DWilhoite Ky Guns Fun. That is correct. He is an awesome dude. He really is. He is an awesome dude. I've known him for a long, long time. He's running a giveaway right now for his 2,500 subscriber milestone. And dude, how could I not make a video for the... He's sitting there in a MadBadVoodo t-shirt. You know, I believe that's the second run. First run was orange, second run was red, and the third run was black. Anyway, he's been a supporter of mine for a very long time. I consider him to be a friend. Although we don't really talk that much anymore, every now and again he gives me a buzz. He's just a really great guy. But anyway, so he's having his 2,500 subscriber giveaway. You know what's funny? I can remember when he and Heavy were near 1,000, and that was a big thing. He was trying like hell to get to 1,000, and now he's blown past that, and he's blown past 2,000, and he's well on his way to 3,000. And listen, this couldn't happen to a greater guy. He's just a really good guy. He's a much better person than I am, and that's just a fact. Anyway, by the way, one of the few Kentucky colonels on YouTube that I didn't nominate, at least that I know of. Anyway, blah, blah, blah. So, he has two prereqs for the entry to his giveaway. And the first one is to talk about your pet peeve about YouTube. And that is so hard. That is so very hard. Because there's a million things that I have pet peeves about when it comes to YouTube. It's so hard. I will pick one just for the sake of doing this video, but the truth of the matter is that there's just so many. But anyway, if I had to choose just one, at least one for the sake of this video, I would say that I would say the biggest pet peeve for me is the lack of communication with YouTube. The inability for all of us to contact YouTube. Well, I shouldn't say all of us. There are people who are megastars on YouTube that have phone numbers that they can call. I'm sadly not one of those megastars. You know, it's funny. A lot of people think I'm this big channel because I've got, you know, one of my channels has like 31,000 subscribers. Another one has like, I don't know, 11,000 subscribers. Another one has 4,000 subscribers. I control a lot of channels. And the funny thing about it is that I am nothing. I am a tick on a dog's ass in the YouTube universe. That's just a fact. I mean, I'm really not. It's funny when I see people go, "You're a huge YouTuber." No. Huge YouTubers have, you know, 1 million subscribers plus, and they have a shit ton of several tens of millions of views. Anyway, so lack of communication. I can't pick up a phone and call them. If I have problems, and I've had many problems over the last 8-9 years, tons of problems, that would have been so nice. It would have been so nice if I could have just picked up the phone and called somebody at YouTube and said, "Hey, this is what's going on. Can you help me out?" Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Now, there's ways that they could do this, you know. I mean, listen, there's 350, at the last I heard, it's probably more than this now, but there's 350 million YouTubers. And of the 350 million YouTubers, I don't know what the percentage is that actually make videos, but it's probably a much smaller percent. It's probably, I mean, I don't, it's a small number. And because most people just view, and very few of them actually watch. Or excuse me, actually create. And even the ones that do create, very few of them go beyond, well, let's put it this way. Very few people do what I do and what David does. There's very few people that consistently make videos. That's just a fact. But that's fine. I mean, if you're just a consumer of videos, that's totally fine. Here's the thing. YouTube doesn't have to allow everybody, but let's say that you've been on YouTube for 6 months. And in that 6 months, you've posted at least a video every 2 weeks. You're consistent. You're a real YouTuber. You're consistent. You've monetized your videos. There's an income stream coming in, and you have a partnership going with YouTube. You should be able to communicate. You should, but you can't. for a brief moment there, if you got so many views a month, you could actually email them, you know. But that was spotty, and half the time YouTube's number thing was screwed up. And I think only, you know, well, like for example, I could email them under the Crystal Blade channel at one point, but I couldn't email them under Colonel Richard Hunter. Or I could do it under MadBadVoodo, but not Colonel Richard Hunter. But what my problem was with the Colonel Richard Hunter account, it's just the whole thing was just screwy. It really was just screwy. So anyway, I wish that there was a way that we could contact them and have some kind of a liaison. Now I know some people have these, what do they call them? Partner managers. You know, I'm just not one of those people, and I don't even know what you would have to have. The smallest guy that I know personally that has a partner manager is a guy that's got 400,000 subscribers, you know. So yeah, you get the picture. So I mean, I know that's my biggest pet peeve, because I think I'm a real YouTuber. I've made several thousands of dollars doing YouTube, which means that Google has made several thousands of dollars from me. I got one video that I made $5,000 on. You know, the typical Obama supporters exposed video. You know, I mean, I've made them money. And you would think that, here's the thing. I do not personally believe that the word partner means what Google thinks it does. I really feel that way. Because in real life, if you had a partner like them, you would be in court and you would be done with, you would be terminating your relationship. You really would. But unfortunately, YouTube is the only game in town, I mean, the only real game in town where you can make any real money. Although, as we all know, the money's nothing like it was. In fact, to be honest with you, it's slave labor is what's going on right now. It is slave labor. But that's another video. So I want to talk about the other thing he brought up. Another topic that you could talk about to get into his contest is he wanted to know how we felt about the Supreme Court's two major rulings, recent rulings. I believe it's gay marriage and Obamacare. And I will tell you this. Let me start with Obamacare. Judge Roberts literally rewrote the law. He is an unelected lawmaker now. What he did was impeachable, in my opinion. He's done it twice now. The first Obamacare ruling was an abomination. He basically took it from a fine to a tax. And gave it the rubber stamp. It was ridiculous. And then the second one, this last one, was the same thing. He just literally just rewrites the law. I mean, that's not the Supreme Court's job. They are to interpret the Constitution. They are not to write law. That's what we have a Congress for. So, yeah, I would be completely okay with impeaching Roberts. I would absolutely be okay with that. In fact, I would be a big supporter of that. The other thing is the gay marriage thing. I believe that marriage belongs to the states. I think my personal feelings is that I think marriage is a religious institution, although I'm a huge supporter of the gay people. Huge. I got gay people in my family. I know for a fact it's not a choice. You know, for a vast majority of these people, this isn't a lifestyle choice. This is the way their brain is wired. And I'm not going to, you know, I'm just not willing to use religion or any other reason to discriminate against these people. Having said that, I believe that there should have been a union created, a gay union that gave them all the rights that heterosexuals had. But, you know, I don't know. Listen, the Supreme Court dropped the ball. They screwed up. It should literally never have went down the way it did. It belongs to the states. There's nothing in the Constitution that gives them any power over that. And so they screwed up. Doesn't matter how I feel about homosexuals. The Supreme Court screwed up. And I could go on and on and on about the Roberts Supreme Court. And I could also go on and on about Bush appointees. Not only Roberts, but who was appointed by W, but many other federal judges that were appointed by W's dad, Herbert Walker Bush. Anyway, I don't want to make this a forever long video, so I'm going to let it go. But yeah, so thumbs down on both Supreme Court decisions. And anyway, get in on his contest. He's a really freaking cool dude. I'll have a link below to his video. Subscribe to him if you're not already subscribed to him. You won't regret it. He's a very pious man, especially in comparison to the heathen that I am. Anyway, good luck with your contest, brother, and talk to you later. See ya!